Render will reach an insane price and I will tell you why. Hello everybody, welcome to the channel. My name is Doug and today's video I'm going to explain to you why Render will reach an insane price in the upcoming months and also give you my short-term Render price prediction. So the first topic I want to talk about today is what's actually going on with the Render price since last week's video. So during last week's video, Render was actually trading around like I think $4.80, $4.90, even went up to like $5.20 during that day. But I was actually saying during this video that Render would probably come down to the golden pocket around $4.60, and it actually did perfectly, because if we take out the Fibonacci level, so we go from the bottom to the top here, we can actually see that it's bounced perfectly from the golden pocket. Like on Wednesday, it went in the golden pocket between like $4.63 and $4.50 and then moved out. But yesterday we had another run down when Bitcoin went very aggressively down and went a little below the golden pocket to like $4.45, which is still an excellent buying point. Like around the golden pocket, it didn't actually close below it, so that means it's still valid. So if it would close below the golden pocket, this would mean a lot of people wouldn't believe in the golden pocket and wouldn't buy around these levels anymore. But right now it closed well above the golden pocket, so it's very strong. Also, what you could see is that when it went down to the golden pocket, it actually went to the Fibonacci 0.5 during that week as well, but it got denied again. So there was strong selling here and strong buying here, but Render especially is outperforming so well, because if we take a look at Bitcoin is actually doing way worse, because when Bitcoin was actually at like 49,000, Render was at $3.50. But now Bitcoin went down to like 52k and Render still was steady at like $4.50, $4.45. So that's very strong, because if Bitcoin would have gone down, I think to like 49,000, I didn't expect Render to go down $4. Like even $4.20 will be really hard, because there's some really nice support which I'm looking at with Render, but I'm gonna talk about that support at the end of the video during my short-term price prediction. But now let's move on what I think is going to happen in the upcoming months and which could be very, very bullish for Render. So if we take a look at the history of Bitcoin, we can see that October is one of the greatest months in crypto history. It's always almost green, like the average is 23%, the median is the highest of all, 28%. So this is where I expect crypto to really push forward. Like if you even look at the quarterly returns, you can see that Q4 is outstanding. Like Q4 is where the real money is made. Like even though the 2021 bull run, everybody was talking about November Bitcoin all-time high, just look at the numbers. November is basically Q4 in 2021. Bitcoin only had 5% gains. In 2020, which would be today, like Q4 2020 should be the same as Q4 2024. It went up 170%, followed up by plus 100% in January. And this is why I think the greatest Render gains will be made during Q4 and Q1. Like the Nvidia earnings in November 2024 and the Nvidia earnings in February 2025 could really push Render really hard. Like I've been saying this a lot as well. All you have to do in September, which is usually one of the worst months in crypto, is if you just DCA for 30 days. This is not financial advice. Just buy Render every day for a month. Your returns will most likely outperform 99.9% in crypto. Like just by DCAing Render. Why Render? Because Render is one of the strongest coins ever. It's a top AI coin. It's a top Solana coin. It will melt wild phases again. But of course, there's also some very bullish events which could start this October event. So the first very bullish event we're gonna talk about is on September 11th. It's basically the CPI. So the CPI is basically correlated to rate cuts. So the lower the CPI gets, the bigger the chances will be of a rate cut. And rate cuts are very, very bullish for crypto, stocks and any investments. Because when rates get cut, normal like investments which are secure don't actually return that much, and people seek other opportunities like stocks and crypto. So a lot of money is probably going to get into stocks and crypto. And this what the CPI does, when the CPI gets lower and lower, the chances of the rate cuts becomes bigger and bigger. We already saw this in Canada. So last Wednesday, crypto actually pumped a little bit, and this was due to Canada cutting rates. So when is the US gonna announce it? Well, first on September 11th, we're gonna get the CPI. If it gets to 2.6 or better, it's gonna be extremely bullish. And then the week afterwards, on September the 18th, we're actually gonna get the information if the rate cut is happening. And again, Canada did it, so the odds of the USA doing it as well are very, very big. And everybody will think like, this is probably a sell the news event in my opinion. Because if we run up towards this, or even earlier, run towards the 11th of September CPI news, it could probably a sell the news event because a lot of people already know and think it's gonna be a rate cut. But then afterwards, of course, which was actually the same thing I think in 2020, Q4 is gonna be incredible because there will be a lot of money to invest, and everybody knows that's gonna be money season. But for now, like I said in my previous video, Nvidia earnings will be a sell the news event. It happened, and I really think that is federal fund rates as well. But for the normal investor, non-financial advice, all you should do is buy render daily for the next 30 days, and you will have a glorious end of the year in Q1. But of course, this is crypto and stocks in general. There's also some very, very big opportunities for render itself. So the first major event we're gonna talk about is Token 2049. So Token 2049 is one of the greatest and biggest crypto events of the year, in which they bring the leading voices in crypto all together on this big stage. Like there's 30,000 plus attendees, there's 10,000 companies, 500 speakers, 600 plus exhibitors. Like this is really big. And when is this taking place? September 18th till 19th. And again, you might be thinking, well, Doc, did this actually again something in crypto in general? No, because the CEO of Render will actually be speaking on the main stage to thousands of people, well-educated crypto people with a lot of money. He will explain what GPU rendering is, maybe the burning effect, and he could trigger the FOMO. And after that, just don't forget the date. The next big event is even bigger for Render. We're talking, of course, about Solana Breakpoint, the biggest Solana event, and maybe again one of the biggest crypto events of the year. And once again, the founder and CEO of Render, Jules Urbach, will be talking on the main stage about the Render network. Again, very big. And look at the dates. Again, in Singapore, 20th to 21st September. So only 2-3 days after he amazed the world at Token 2049, he will be speaking at Solana Breakpoint. So this is just catalyst after catalyst. We get the fund rates, then we get Token 2049. Then we got Solana Breakpoint, and they're gonna make it look as bearish as possible. Trust me, they did it last year as well. The market makers are gonna make it so bad for you that you think it's over, and then when everybody's fearing everything, they're gonna send it to the highest limits you could have imagined. So don't miss out on this. We're almost there. It's only 1 month before the best performing quarter of the crypto history is gonna start. So don't be foolish, don't get faded out, just DCA and we'll be more than okay. So now, let's get on with the second part of this video, which is my short-term Render price prediction. But before I do this, if you want to buy Render, Bitcoin and over 1,000 other crypto coins while getting 30 $1,000 in bonuses and rewards for just depositing and trading crypto as shown on screen. Just go to the top of the description and click on the partner Bybit link. Once you're on the partner Bybit link, you will see my name or my referral code, which is basically 41860, and you can see you can get up to $30,000 plus in welcome rewards for just depositing and buying crypto. Like, imagine you're DCAing this big render dip and you're getting rewards as well for just buying crypto. So you can make an account, deposit USDT, buy render every day, get rewards, buy render with that reward or any other crypto. Like, they got more than 1,400 cryptos. And you can just maximize this dip. So don't actually forget about this. This is huge and you will benefit so much for. So just go top of the description and click on the partner Bybit link. So for my short-term render price prediction, I'm not really 100% sure if this is the bottom, but it's gonna be very close because there's only one thing really left. So if we take a horizontal line here, you got something about this daily demand. So if we just take a horizontal line here, and then one lower for the daily demand, the price actually might come down to these levels, just wicking really quick. Just like last week we were talking about a quick wick in the golden pocket, we might see a quick wick again in the daily demand zone and then the uptrend again. So where can actually render go? So if we take a look at the Fibonacci levels, which is always a very nice thing to see, is we can actually go a lot higher. Like, I'm expecting the first uptrend. So if we take the top here, which from March and then to the bottom all the way, I expect the first big target to be it. Of course, we need to break all-time high, but then it will go to like the 1.618, which is $20, or even shoot up to the 2.618. So this is the very big, like the Q1 target. And I'm not saying that Q1 is the end of the bull run, but it will be very big usually. And I'm gonna tell people to take profits. It's not gonna be financial advice, but nobody ever got poor taking profits. Like, everybody knows what happened in March. Like, people were too bullish and they didn't listen to people and they thought we were going much higher. And I myself, gonna admit, I was here at the bottom telling everybody to buy even lower last year, September, around $1, and we went 10x. And I was around too many bulls, and I actually skipped the lines. I'm not surrounded by too many bulls. I'm actually following in with the people who took profits, a lot of profits at these levels, because bulls get you dragged in. Like, profit is profit. If you go from these levels to like $4 and you go all the way to 30, that's a 10x, and that's a lot of money, a big return. And a lot of legit big people believe that it is easily achievable, even looking further to the 31618. And of course, if you get a parabolic retail bull run, we can even get way higher. But for now, what I want to see is this. So if we take a look at the $7, which actually started everything, like the downtrend, when we were actually back on exchanges after the migration, we see that we went through and even closed above the 0.786, which is very impressive because a lot of crypto coins didn't do it. But these are the levels we need to break. Like, a lot of people think that we will do this, and it's probably a good trade as well, because last week I showed you guys a trade on Twitter as well from like the golden pocket to the 0.5, and we closed it. And a lot of people, this is short term. Like, if you're gonna do spot holding, you should just DCA. And if you're a trader, and it's not financial advice, this might happen. Like, we could just break through this as well again, like we did here, but this could be a very nice play, like in this demand zone, getting a liquidity grab here when Bitcoin might go down and then up again. So last week we did this as well. So we went down and up here. So that was beautiful. And now we might see this as well. But for the long term, like I said, Q4 is the big deal. Don't rush it. Just DCA in September. We'll see a lot of volatility. Like I said in my last week video, we'll go up and down a lot. Like, really fast up, really fast down, and the other way around. So it's going to be a big month. But from October, as I've shown you the numbers, render is going to pump really hard, and a lot of you will be sideways because market makers are gonna make it very bearish. Like, the fear and greed is in the lowest I've ever seen since December 2022, when render was trading at 40 cents. It's lower than at 90 cents. It's lower than at $1.25 last year in September. It's one of the greatest opportunities. And all you have to do, like we did last year, is DCA render. Or DCA your other favorite crypto, but I'm a render maxi, so DCA render in September is one of the greatest risk rewards you will ever have. This is not financial advice, this is my opinion, but I want everybody who's following me to succeed big time. And I hope everybody also enjoyed this video. Be sure to like if you did. Also follow me at TheRealDoc on Twitter to know when I talk about render, crypto and other very bullish things. Also click on the screen right now if you want to find out the best method to buy render to maximize profits. Subscribe to this channel for more crypto content and YouTube. Until next time.